Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Tuesday, September 26th. We got a full 15-game slate on this Tuesday, a lot of options today, a lot of guys to look at, so not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started. One thing I do want to mention, though, before we do get started, we'll be uploading my NFL video for Week 4. Should be up sometime Tuesday afternoon. If you're watching this Monday night when I upload it, just check the video out tomorrow in the afternoon, or if you're watching this on Tuesday, there's a good chance the video could be up by the time you're watching this. I should have my NFL video for Week 4 up around 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern Time, so be sure to check that out when it does go out. Would really appreciate it. I got a lot of good feedback on my last NFL video, got a ton of likes, ton of views, so thank you guys so much for that. The support's been great lately, and I do really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started looking at today's Tuesday slate. Alright, so like I said, a 15-game slate today, so a lot of options to look at. We have 3 stud pitchers today, 3 guys over 10K. Luis Severino, he is in that tier. He's 11-6, but he's actually not going to be pitching today for the Yankees. Jordan Montgomery is going to be pitching. So just mark out Severino. I'm not sure why he's in the player pool. He's not going to be pitching today. Our 3 guys over 10K are Gio Gonzalez, Robbie Ray, and Chris Sale. I definitely think you want to pair for one of these guys today. Chris Sale going up against the Blue Jays, a team that he's had so much success against this year. Pull up his splits. It's just crazy how well Sale has pitched against Toronto this year. I believe he's pitched 3 games against them. Yeah, he's pitched 3 games, and in those 3 games, he's averaged 39 DraftKings points, nearly 40 DK points, 39.5. He's got 35 strikeouts through those 3 games, and he's pitched a shutout in all 3 of those games as well. Hasn't allowed a single run against Toronto. So Chris Sale's had a ton of success against this team. This is a team he can definitely pitch well against. They will strike out. They do have a decent strikeout rate versus lefties. In the last 30 days, Toronto is striking out 23.1% of the time. So Sale definitely has upside here. But it doesn't really matter if strikeout matchup for Sale. The dude's going to get strikeouts no matter what. And against this Toronto team that he's had a lot of success against, definitely could see him getting some Ks here. He's expensive today at $13,400. But with how well he's pitched against Toronto this year and just the upside that Sale possesses every time he steps on the mound, I definitely think he's a guy you want to pay up for today. We saw him in his last game against Baltimore just absolutely own that team, put up 45.6 DraftKings points, got 13 strikeouts against this game or against that team last time he pitched. So we know Sale has the upside. Even though he's expensive, this dude just has so much strikeout potential. He can definitely pay off his salary. And with how well he's pitched against the Blue Jays this year, I think he will be able to return value without a problem. So Chris Sale is going to be my SP1 today at $13,400. And like I said, Luis Severino is not going to be pitching against the Rays. Jordan Montgomery is. Jordan Montgomery is a guy I have a lot of interest in today at $6,800 going up against the Rays. This Rays team versus lefties, we know they do strike out a ton versus left-handed pitching, and they're not nearly as good versus lefties hitting the ball as they are versus righties. In the last 30 days versus lefties, the Rays, they're striking out 24% of the time, and they're only hitting a 243 average and a 312 WOBA versus lefties in the last 30 days. And both of those numbers arch towards the bottom of the league. So I think this is a good spot for Montgomery. He's going to be pitching at home in Yankee Stadium, which definitely is not a pitcher-friendly park, but Montgomery has had a lot of success in Yankee Stadium this year. So I think he is a very good option today at just $6,800. When you pair him and Sale, that still leaves you decent salary to where you can fit in some decent bats if you choose to do so. And that's one of the main reasons I like Montgomery today, just because of his price. And he definitely has upside here. In his last game against Baltimore, posted a really good outing, put up 26 DraftKings points in that game. So Montgomery definitely has potential to return value. At just $6,800, I don't really see how he doesn't return value on that really cheap salary. The Rays strike out a ton, so Montgomery definitely has upside here. And I think he's a really good option at $6,800. So I'm going to be pairing him with Sale. And when we do that, that leaves us $37.25 remaining per player. So decent salary to work with for our hitters. There are some cheap bats I like today. Definitely some expensive bats you want. But I think there's enough cheap bats to where we can fit in the expensive pitcher like Sale, who has a ton of upside today. So I really like going with this combo of 2 pitchers for my 5 plays. And then for the 3 hitters to fill out my 5 plays, the first guy that I like is going to be at second base. A very, very cheap play I like is Asdrubal Cabrera at just $3K going up against R.A. Dickey. Now, I really like Cabrera today because he's had a ton of success against R.A. Dickey in the past. And I've said this before, BVP I think is pretty important to look at when you're going up against a guy that throws a knuckleball. R.A. Dickey obviously throws a knuckleball. Asdrubal Cabrera has had a lot of success against him. He's 8 for 26 with 6 extra base hits. So of those 8 hits, 6 of them were for extra bases, 3 of them were for home runs. He's batting a .308 average versus R.E. Dickey. So Asdrubal has had a ton of success against Dickey. We did see Dickey just pitch against this Mets team about a week or two ago. Didn't really pitch well, got really roughed up. I could see another outing like that from Dickey today. I think these Mets bats are some bats you can target today. When Dickey's not on his game, the dude will really struggle, will give up home runs, give up some hard contact. So I like some of these Mets bats. Looking to get exposure to them with the Asdrubal Cabrera, a guy that has had a lot of success against Dickey in the past. I think he's a very good option today at just $3K. Fits really well in our core plays when we go with Sell as our expensive pitcher. Asdrubal definitely frees us up some salary to where we can fit in a couple more expensive bats if we want to. So really like Asdrubal Cabrera today if you're looking for a punt play. I think he makes a lot of sense at just $3K. And then my next play is going to be at third base. A mid-range play I really like here is Jake Lamb at just $4,200 going up against Matt Moore. Now I feel like Lamb might sort of go overlooked today because it is a lefty-on-lefty matchup going up against Matt Moore. But if you look at Matt Moore's numbers this year, the guy does have reverse splits. He really has struggled more against lefties this year than he has against righties. So far this year, Matt Moore, he is only allowed a .319 WOBA to righties, but to lefties a .439 WOBA, which is just insane. And he's also given up a ton of home runs to lefties, a 1.98 home run per 9 on the year to left-handed hitters. Going to Chase Field today, the Giants are going to be in Arizona. And Arizona is a very hitter-friendly park. And if you look at Matt Moore's away splits versus lefties, a 3.46 home run per 9 to left-handed hitters on the road. We're getting him on the road today out of San Francisco. He's going to have to go to Chase Field, which is one of the most hitter-friendly parks in the game. So I absolutely love this spot for some of these Diamondbacks hitters, especially the lefties. I feel like the lefties are going to go overlooked because it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. But Matt Moore has been really bad against lefties this year. He has allowed a ton of hard contact to lefties as well. 51.1% medium contact and 33.8% hard contact. So a really good spot for these Diamondbacks hitters. They do have a high total today, one of the highest on the slate of 5.4 runs. Some of the bats in this lineup are expensive, but definitely has some cheaper guys like Brandon Drury. He is a righty, but I think the righties are definitely in play, especially guys like JD and Paul Goldschmidt who have just mashed left-handed pitching this year. Definitely can target them. But I think the lefties like Peralta and Lamb could go a little bit overlooked because it's lefty-on-lefty matchup. But like I showed you guys, Matt Moore really struggling to lefties this year. So that's why I really like Jake Lamb today. He has also had a ton of success against Matt Moore in the past, which is something I definitely like to see. He's 4 for 12 against Matt Moore, with 3 of his 4 hits were for extra bases. 1 of his hits was a home run. So he's batting .333 and 12 at bats against Matt Moore. So also got that going for him. I think Jake Lamb a very good option today. Might go overlooked since he's in a lefty-lefty matchup. But I'm not going to shy away from Jake Lamb today. I think he's a very good option. He's had a ton of success against Matt Moore, and Moore has really struggled to lefties this year. So if you're looking for sort of a mid-range play at third base, definitely consider Jake Lamb today at $4,200. And then my final play is going to be in the outfield. Another sort of cheap play I like, under $4K, is Billy Hamilton at just $3,800 going up against Zach Davies. Now, this isn't an absolutely great matchup against Davies. Davies has been decent this year, but definitely a pitcher I'm not going to shy away from. And one of the main reasons I really like Billy Hamilton today is because he's going to be going up against the Brewers. The Brewers catcher for today is projected to be Stephen Vogt. And Stephen Vogt is one of the worst catchers at throwing out runners. If you ever watch Stephen Vogt try and throw out somebody when they're stealing, the dude's terrible. He throws balls in the dirt, can't really throw anybody out. Like I said, one of the worst catchers at throwing out runners who are trying to steal. We know if Billy Hamilton, if he gets on base, the dude is going to steal bases. Leads the league in stolen bases this year with 58 steals. So if he does get on base, I expect Hamilton to be running, and I don't think there's any way he's going to get thrown out if Stephen Vogt is behind the plate, which he is. He is in the projected lineup for the Brewers. With a right-handed pitcher on the mound for the Reds, you would expect Vogt to be in the lineup, which he is in the projected lineup. So that's something to take note of. If Vogt isn't in the lineup and it's Manny Pena behind the plate, probably won't be playing Hamilton today, but if Vogt is catching for the Brewers, I think Billy Hamilton in a really good matchup to steal. Hamilton will pretty much run on any pitcher, and especially with Stephen Vogt trying to throw him out, I think Hamilton just is such a good option today. If he gets on base, definitely expect him to be stealing a ton of bases, and I think it's very unlikely that he gets thrown out. So I love Billy Hamilton today. Looking for sort of a value play. I really like him at $3,800. And yeah, guys, so these are my five core plays for tonight. I went with Chris Sale, Jordan Montgomery, Asdrubal Cabrera, Jake Lamb, and Billy Hamilton. When we plug these 5 guys into our lineup, that still leaves us $37.60 remaining per player. So you do have some decent salary to work with. You can definitely build a lineup around this core plays or around these core plays if you choose to do so. Or if you just want to plug some of these guys into your lineups and make your own lineup around this core, definitely feel free to do that as well. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video and be sure to subscribe as well. I do upload these MLB videos daily for you guys, along with NFL videos as well. We'll also be doing NBA when NBA season starts. So I have a ton of content coming out for you guys. Make sure you are subscribed with notifications on, so that way you'll never miss out on any new videos. And like I said, also be sure to like the video as well, and be sure to check out my NFL video for Week 4 when it does come out. Should be out Tuesday afternoon, so maybe by the time you're watching this video, it might already be out. Not sure. The video should be up about 4 or 5 Eastern on Tuesday, so make sure to check it out when it does get uploaded. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Oh, sauce it down, sauce it up. Do too much, ain't enough, ain't enough. Where you from? Throw it out, going nuts, yeah, going down. Sauce it down, sauce it up. Do too much, ain't enough, ain't enough.